I ask every time. Did you get a chance to look anything up or not?
So, shaming.
You know, I hate to cut you off like
No,
first
it's
thing,
good.
but like I low key like looking up like I looked up what Google had to say about like life shaming. The shit said this kind of shaming stigmatizes people for having the wrong desires or the wrong body. It makes them feel personally to blame for not changing their habits or lifestyle. You know, honestly, when I thought about this, I didn't even really take into consideration the body.
I
Cause I
didn't either.
mean, yeah, cause I'm like, there's hella like bodybuilders and shit like that. That I don't know, that kind of put a new aspect of things in my mind.
Yeah, because now past like what your example of happiness is, now it's just your idea of what you're supposed to do on a day to day with everything about your life.
Yeah, yeah, that's facts. That's facts. But I mean, I'm not body shaming. Lifestyle shaming in general. It's I don't know, man. I feel like you got to be really, really I feel like you yourself have to have some real self-esteem issues to lifestyle shame. Because I mean, it's not like you hear too many people who are well off or have like, I guess you could say more glamorous lifestyles. It's not like you really hear them body like lifestyle shaming or body shaming or any shaming
Yeah.
that much at all. Honestly, unless they hating on people up top of them. But other than that, I don't really hear the people who are content shaming. It's always the people who are discontent with themselves, discontent with their, where they're at, with how they are lacking the motivation and the discipline to really shoot for what they're trying to go for. Um, I don't know. I feel like it's almost like a lame, like
Yeah.
it's a lame thing to do.
Very, yeah, that's would you say that people target when they shame somebody for something, would you say that they target people or a group of people that hold or that share an insecurity that they have, like someone who's insecure about their weight, lifestyle shames or body shames people?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like insecurities play a huge role in it. Honestly, sorry, I was semi distracted by the dog, but
The main star over there.
yeah, but no, I feel like insecurities play a huge role in it. Honestly, but I mean, it's like you got to think at a certain point, what are you hating on? Because it's like people, you would like to think that people do the best with the situations that they're given. So I mean, it's like if your situation only allows you to work at FedEx or Food Lion, then you hope that they're making the best of that. Or
Mm-hmm.
if your situation only if it allows you to work a corporate job, if you're blessed to be like a HR manager or something like that, but it's like people will still be discontent. But it's like at the same time, I don't know. It's like I feel like they they sh- they should ideally they should be making the best of their situation. But I mean, it's like you there's so many different mentalities out there too. It really just depends on if you're. Some people don't have time to complain.
Yeah, they
Some
too busy.
people, yeah, it's like complaining ain't even in their. It doesn't even cross their mind
Mm-mm.
because that's not how they were raised, or that's not they it wasn't they not built like that.
Dwelling over things that you have 100% control over changing, um, letting those affect your emotions because you are lack the discipline or motivation to change them yourself.
Yeah.
This is really like not corny, but it's kind of kiddish. But it's like SpongeBob. SpongeBob mentality. He works at
Okay.
the Krusty Krab. He lives his day. You know what I'm saying, day to day,
Yeah.
and doesn't complain about anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
facts.
he's the epitome of a fast food fry cook. You
Yeah.
know.
That is facts. That is facts. But it's like that I feel like that plays into the your personal take like your view on happiness, because also when I looked up the definition of happiness, I'm still trying to teach him the definition of happiness.
Yeah, he is very unhappy right now.
Yeah, he's we're working on contentment first. But happiness, literally, it all it says is the state of being happy. So me personally, I feel like a lot of people judge happiness based on status, what they visually can see, and the materials that they have, what your accomplishments and things like that. It says nothing about that in there. I mean, not to say that everything that Google has is right, but
Yeah.
it literally just says a state of being happy. That's like a state of mind. Like you can be living in a shed with, a heater, a bed, and some ramen noodles for days and be happy as hell, because that being a business owner or, big top dog CEO, that might not be your goal. That might give you social anxiety. That might not be the pressure that you want. That could tip the scale for you. But it's like owning I don't know, making these big lighters. That could make you the happiest in the world that you could ever be.
Love making lighters.
Yeah. See, there's like people spreading the love that way too. But I appreciate how it says state of being happy, because a lot of people, I feel like they get it misconstrued, especially with the social media aspect of what they see, like visually see on social media. They'll see, and that's the thing, a lot of people don't realize them folks ain't happy.
No,
That's
not at
that's
all.
like that's a reel of happiness. That's like that's what, like 40 seconds of happiness right there,
Yeah.
or fake happiness in my opinion, because
Fake smile.
half the time they're doing it for the real. So
Yeah, exactly. Just smiling behind the camera because if anything else, then they got a bigger problem on their hands.
oh yeah,
You know?
oh yeah, yup. They'll do what they got to do for their little shout outs, their tags and all that stuff to get it rolling, try to get as many views and stuff like that. But I mean, shoot, like how has your view of happiness progressed over the years? Do you feel like it's changed?
I feel like I'm not concerned as much as, like you said, like a lot of people are worried about, like, what's going on in social media and stuff. And I feel like, well, I've never really been materialistic, so that aspect has never really shifted, you know, whether I was happy with what I had or not, um, it's really been more so the people I have around me, and just the things that I have access to be able to do, like, and how, the different lanes that I've chosen to be able to express myself, really determine, that underlying state of happiness,
Yeah,
um J. Cole, man, that song, love, what I'm saying, love yours, you know what I'm saying.
that's facts.
It's
Favorite.
really when you take a step back and look at the things that are important and realize what you have over what you don't have, you got to question, like, is are we letting the right things affect our happiness, our state of being happy, like, you're worrying about things that don't genuinely matter, at the end of the day they don't really matter, but you're letting them shift your emotions so much that the reality of it is you're no longer happy over things that really don't matter.
That's facts. Okay, I got a question. So, what aspect do you feel affects? So, let's say you're like somebody who's weak-minded, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
easily swayed. They are manipulated by the things that they see, the things that people tell them. What do you feel plays a bigger persuasion in their happiness? Peers or social media? The peers that they have, their circle of friends or whatever you want to call it, or what they view on social media. Which one do you feel like has a bigger effect?
um hmm.
If it helps at all, I haven't found the answer myself.
You said what?
I said if it helps at all, I haven't found the answer to that myself.
Yeah, that's because I want to say, like, I feel like social media would shift how they interact with their peers, but
Okay.
I feel at the end of it, the peers are the ones that they have the most, in-person interaction. So I feel like at the end of it, that's what would matter at the end of the day is their opinion of the peers that they're around.
True.
I feel like they would hold that a lot closer to them than just what they see on social media.
Yeah.
Um,
No, I agree with you on that one, honestly. Because I mean, shoot, if they're easily swayed, then they're gonna be worried about status and how their friends are looking at them, versus how they're viewing themselves. I feel like some people lose themselves a little bit in their search for happiness.
damn, that shit just was.
I really do, cause I know me personally, I was looking at it wrong. Like I was looking at it wrong when I was growing up. I was looking at it through, cause growing up, you're. I think it's safe to say like 80% of mankind growing up, you're easily manipulated because when you think about it, parents are perfect manipulators. They, in a sense, they have to. They have to manipulate your mind to think, oh, this stove is hot. It's hot as fuck. Like, don't touch that. Or
Yeah.
it's real dangerous for you to go out there. Don't do that. But it's like you don't necessarily go out and experience that. But because of the trust that you build in them, they have to manipulate you a certain way to kind of to mold you in the way that is to protect you, hopefully. But it's like when certain people start to grow up, some of them are, some of them are more rebellious than others. Me firsthand, I know all about that. But like, it's like still too, it's like once you kind of find your group of people that you cling to or that you would like to support you, then it's like they kind of have a stronger effect on you. It's almost like there's the adolescence, adolescence phase where you have like majority of your family, and then kind of like the, I guess, young adult phase where you have your peer group, and then your adult phase where you're still figuring things out just a little bit, and you're finding, if you even have a group of friends, you're finding that, and you're finding yourself as well. But I feel like through those different stages, it's like you're affected differently by how you go about finding happiness. Because like I said, I view it much differently now. Because being that I was affected by my peers and my family, I was searching for happiness in what they had molded me to believe could make me happy versus what. But at the same time, it's like you can only blame yourself so much for that because I mean, like we talked about before, not everybody knows themselves enough
Yeah.
to be able to find what makes them happy.
So for somebody listening, someone a little younger than we are, that hasn't, experienced life as much, like what if they're having trouble, like finding, happiness with just what they have, you know what I'm saying? What would be some advice that you would give them in order to kind of put their mind on the right path to focus on the real things instead of the fake things.
For me personally, some of the best advice that I have been given and some of the best things that I have learned, and I really don't want to be the devil's advocate here. I really don't. And I don't want to influence anybody to do anything crazy after they hear this, but like on, on some real stuff, life is short. Like, and when I say that, I'm not saying, oh, life is short, fuck it, let's do this, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I had this conversation with somebody the other day where they were telling me that we both had been on an outing and they didn't necessarily do what they wanted to do because they were like, oh, I'm not sure if I should do this, or I'm not sure if I could, or I'm not sure if such and such is going to resent me for this, or what's going to be the case. But then later on they're telling me, oh, I really wish that I had done that. I really wish that, because you never know when you're going to get that opportunity again. So I'm like, for me, I'm like, I'm gonna live it to the fullest, because I've regretted too much thus far in my life. And I know that right now, I can't go back. I can't go back to those situations. So now, in order to find my personal happiness, I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it. Like, that's literally, just do it.
What was that guy's name from Transformers? They had that meme
Oh,
of him.
Shia LaBeouf.
Just do it.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's like, for me, the view of happiness has changed to where I'm not searching for one specific thing. My mindset is like, oh, like, I'm doing what makes me happy. I'm reaching my goals, and I'm continuously achieving that happiness of the experiences that I get to experience in life. That means more to me than anything. So yeah. But versing the question, what about you? Like, what has, or I guess, what advice would you give the viewers
That's you brought up
or listeners? My bad.
something. You brought up regret, which, looking at it, I feel like that's something that really tears a lot of people down when they're looking back at some of the things, and or how, or what ifs. I feel like when people start to focus on the what ifs, that's when they really start shifting emotionally, because you start to focus on you start to focus on the happiness that you could have had from things you could have done. And my advice would be, and it's crazy, but just go out and do the things that make you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that you want to accomplish, and just, like you said, just do it. And it's crazy that you brought up regret, because that really, just thinking about instances that I've had personally, just going back and being in my head about things that I could have done differently, or could have done. I have a lot of, I guess you could say, moments that would bring sadness. You know what I'm saying? Just thinking about those regrets that I could have had. So I feel like that shifts someone emotionally a lot more than anything that they see on social media, or anything that they could see around their peer group. Just looking back at your own life in general, and living with those regrets could bring you a lot more sadness than anything. So so trying to live and have as least regrets as possible. I mean, you're not going to be perfect, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like that would be something, a step in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Really, what you brought up about, like, regret and that making you sad overall more than anything, I feel like that's kind of the same with he is killing me with that. I feel like that's the same with wasted time. I realized I myself, whenever I would say, oh, they wasted my time, blah, blah, I realized I was wasting a lot of time. Like, if I added up the time that I wasted versus the time that was beneficial, I wasted more time wasting time than more time that benefited me. So at that point, I changed my mindset to view it not as wasted time, but as a learning lesson, like a lesson. But yeah, I just viewed it as a lesson. I would just think back and be like, what can I take away from this? To one, depending on like the scale of how bad it is, for it to not happen again, or two, for if it does arise again, what can I do different? What am I going to do differently? Because I was like, people make excuses all the time for falling into the same course of actions all the time, because it's like they think that there's this long drawn out process, meditation, mental thing that you have to go through in order to stop doing. No, just stop fucking doing it.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, you don't. Nobody's forcing you to do this. Got like, I highly doubt God is taking His hand and like making you do this shit. Because I'm like, bro, it's really up to you. Like everything in life is up to you. What you do is up to you. What you accomplish is up to you. Because you really put your mind to something, we both know you can do it. Like you can do the shit for real.
I have a question. Do you feel like, and this is kind of pulled out of thin air, but it kind of relates. But do you feel like social media has been, a big cause in people losing the ability to connect with themselves? Because I feel like a lot of, not being able to find that personal happiness or being able to stay on a set path is because you're losing yourself, caught up in everything, because everything is constantly in front of you.
Yeah, I do. Honestly, because that social media has really affected. And you know what? I'm not even gonna say all of social media. I think Instagram. Okay, actually no. It depends on what you're using social media for. So I'm gonna redact that statement. But nah, like social media definitely has molded a lot of people's mind, because I feel like especially the ones who don't have friends, that is their connection. That is their connection with people. That's their connection with the world, because they don't have it elsewhere. They may not fit in with their peer group at school, at work, wherever. So it's like what they see on social media, they find something they can relate to and they cling to it. And they find people that they can relate to and they cling to it. Even if it's in a toxic mindset, or if they're in the same fucked up mindset of that other person, they still cling to it, because that's the only thing that they feel that will relate to them, or the only people that they feel will give them the time of day. So I feel like versus having a balanced human interaction, I feel like they maybe even unknowingly allow that to shift the way that they think and their mindset. So yeah, I would definitely say so.
It's the problem. Social media is the problem.
Yeah, we solved it. We solved it. Yep. Yep. But yeah, man, it's just, I don't know. It's too much for me.
Do you, so again, bringing social media back into it, but coming back to the whole shaming people for lifestyle choices or body weight or anything, you think it's I mean, it's you think it's increased because of just the influence of social media, the social media presence?
You know, it's interesting that Google brought out body, because nowadays I feel like it never necessarily went down, like the less people body shame and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot more things are accepted nowadays.
Yeah.
Like you have a shit ton of genders. You have I'm just kidding. You have two genders. I don't give a fuck. You have two genders. Because the way I see it, you know what? Let me say something real quick. Like I saw this one dude. He was telling me, bro, it wasn't even me. It was on social media. But freaking dude was saying, you put 10 men and 100 women on an island, right? Okay. In 10 years, you're gonna have a well-populated, bountiful island. You put 10 men and 100 transgenders on an island. In 10 years, you're going to have 110 dead bodies. And I'm like, y'all can think on that. But yeah, you got a shit ton of genders nowadays. You got a shit ton of influencers and things like that, to where they're trying to shove it down people's throat to accept them, and a lot of people are kind of in a not give a fuck state of mind. So I feel like it's a lot of people are accepting their bodies in good and bad ways. And when I say bad ways, is because some people have unhealthy body style or unhealthy body treatment. And with the influence nowadays, I feel like they're getting influences like, oh, that's okay. Like you're pushing a ton and that's okay. Right? Yeah, buddy. Like You're out here breaking barriers, and that's okay. Like, you're out here mistreating your body, and that's okay. Like, it just because somebody else says, "Oh, that's not okay." Nah, like, be who you are. But no, you still want to be healthy. Like, shoot. I mean, but I feel like it kind of becomes okay where you have like those dad bods that have, like, their little, they've achieved their beer gut goal, and you got like the bodybuilders, and the bodybuilders are over here like, oh, you need to get rid of that bob, and they're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm content.
And it's crazy because now we're shifting to where the bodybuilders are the ones being criticized. The for being a health nut.
Yeah.
Or taking things that could, I mean, nothing exactly is good for you. But,
Yeah.
But that's what makes them happy, and overall, why the fact that you not at your healthiest, criticizing somebody who takes it serious. Where the priorities,
Yeah, exactly. It's like, it's funny to be the people who say, like, worry about yourself the most, that really don't be worrying about about themselves. But if everybody worried about themselves, I feel like the world would be a better place. But everybody's steady minding other people's business. That's where I think a lot goes south at, because if they were minding their own business, they wouldn't be body shaming. They wouldn't be out here shaming other people's lifestyles. Like, dang, I'm like, how you got time to shame my lifestyle? Shouldn't you be at work?
Excuse me, how much do you have in your wallet
right Exactly. Last time I checked, I'm over here entrepreneur, work for myself. Where are you? Like, yeah. But nah, I mean, shoot, at a certain point, I do appreciate the not give a fuck mindset, though. That's where I've achieved happiness.
Not giving a single one. You couldn't even buy one from me. Like,
exactly.
I couldn't even give it to you for money.
Yep. Yep. Might be able to buy one off a crackhead on the street, maybe. But
speaking of crackheads, this is totally off topic, but I saw this. I'm sorry. I have to because it was very, like, influential. Hold on.
I'm intrigued as to where this is going. Okay.
And it was saying, you never hear a crackhead outside, saying, I can't go buy crack, I have no money. You always hear them trying to figure out how to get some money.
Yeah.
And here you are complaining about not having no money. You're going to let a crackhead out hustle you?
No, that is fact though, because they will find some money. That's for sure. Nah, they will find some money. That is crazy. Hold on, let me see what this dog done messed up. Dang, Cole, I thought you was gonna be the cooperative one.
Yeah, Cole, he's got the he definitely got the star mentality today.
Right. Is that wire? Are the wires still connected on the back side of that?
Yeah, like a receiver?
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, there we go. But yeah, motivation of a crackhead. Shoot. Shoot, yeah. Nah, they're dedicated, that's for sure. That is for sure.
And we could tie it in, almost the crackheads, they are completely, fine with where they are in life.
Yeah. See?
Wrapping it back to your own state of
Oh man, this is highly offensive to the crack addicts, I'm sure. But it's okay. I mean, shoot, at least they're achieving happiness. Find it where you want to, bro. I'm not condoning those actions at all.
Chase the dragon.
At all.
Chase the dragon.
But
They
ooh
would think
boy,
they would think that we took edibles or something before
yeah.
this podcast.
Nope.
Before this episode, we took a couple milligrams.
This is just me, just me. Nah, but I think once people really truly find that they don't have to care what other people think about their life, and that they don't have to care what other people think about their body, and that no matter what you do, somebody is going to talk. Somebody's going to talk, whether it be your brother, your mom, your mama, your sister, your cousin, your friend, your enemy, your frenemy. Somebody's out there talking. They don't even got to know you, but it's like they don't matter.
Yeah.
They're irrelevant. If they're not supporting you, you just wasting time, big dog. You just wasting time.
I've been seeing this phrase pop up a lot, and I want you to give me your opinion on this phrase of a main character mentality. Do you think that's a destructive mentality to have, or really just having that locked in focus, and I don't want to shoot all the way there to saying someone who just doesn't care about anybody else in general, but somebody who is just so locked in on achieving what they have planned and achieving their goals. Do you think that that's a destructive mentality, or is it more of like a malicious phrase?
I feel like, I mean, I don't know what circumstances whoever came up with the quote made it, but the way that I view it as being locked in, or actually, I don't know, that can be taken very toxically at the same time. You can just do whatever, and
Like more
like,
narcissistic vibes.
yeah. I realize that could definitely be taken toxically, and just like do whatever and not care about anybody else's well-being. That's different. But if we're trying to bring it around the positive,
Oh no, we're going straight negative.
okay, I was about to say I'm trying to find the positive.
Straight. If the only way is down, then we're going down, bro.
But let me think. It could be a positive if you were living a life for other people. But if not, then I don't feel like that's necessary. I always go back to just worry about yourself. But I mean, I don't feel like someone should have to tell you that though. Like, shoot, you should be your main character in your own life. It's your life. Shoot, like if you ain't gonna live it, who will? You can't be living somebody else's life. Then they might not even have two player. They ain't got split screen on their life. That's solo dolo over there. You somewhere off the screen, like.
Yeah. Whole time you're living like Luigi, and you don't even realize.
Exactly.
You're the mushroom that Mario's stomping on to get past.
Yo, that's facts though. They did him justice in the Mario movie though. I will say, I fuck with that movie heavy. But
now it's on the watch list. It has to go on the watch list now.
That hurts. I am currently life shaming you in my head, but nah, but
main character mentality much,
right? Yup. See, but nah. It's a quality movie. 100, like 10 out of 10 recommend. But nah, that's facts. He was definitely on the sideshow. But yeah, man, I hope the best for people. I really do, because folks is weird out here, and they just be talking just to talk. Honestly, they be talking.
Yeah,
They be talking.
Lost souls.
But once you find it, I feel like a lot of life comes back to knowing yourself, and then once you know yourself, then you'll be able to know what happiness is for you. Because if you don't know yourself, then it doesn't make sense to expect happiness. Because how you gonna know when it comes to you?
Facts.
That's just the way I see it. But yeah. So shoot, I mean, other than that, how you feel about happiness now?
I'm happy.
There we go.
And I feel like I feel like once you get to that understanding of, you know, like what you really want to accomplish, what it is that you really are waking up and going to sleep for, you know, what you're going to work for, and just what you're going through these daily struggles of life. You know, once you really sit down and think about what's important to you as an individual, then, you know, all these sidelines, you know, they blur out, and you just really you're able to lock in, you know, and like you said, when you're able to really notice when those things that you can be happy about come to you, because you are the one, you know, influence them and achieving them goals, because you're not focused about everything on the outside of the sidelines, you know.
Yep.
And you know, I feel like that's where it takes some time for some people, but I feel like once you're there, you notice it, and you really see how important the things that you figure out what's important for you, you know, what's for you and what's not for you.
Yeah. 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 I love it, man. I wish the best for everybody, and I hope everybody finds their happiness. I hope everybody finds their state of mind that they need to be in, and what it'll take for them to, you know, lock in and really learn themselves and find their happiness. But that's just my 2 cents.
Hopefully it's not doing crack.
Yeah, don't do crack. Oh Lord. But you got anything else for the folks, or we signing out?
Hey, podcast episode number 2.
There we go. Y'all be safe though.